when you're gonna do a mold, what you wanna do is you pinch off a piece of clay and always just ball it up, okay? And then you want to press it, and it has to be equivalent to the size that you're using, but you wanna press it, and press it pretty, like violently, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but you wanna press it so that you're really getting that entire shape. And then you're going to smear away whatever it is that you don't want, okay? So I'm gonna smear this away, and then before you pop it out, you want to score it while it's here. The reason you want to score now is because when you pop it out, then you don't want to compromise the design by trying to hold it and score it. Now, it's easier if it's firmer clay, but because soft clay doesn't like to pull out. So I always pull around the corners first, and then really push hard on the back of that silicone. You're not going to hurt the silicone. So then that's where you get the shape of your heart. So if this is what you're attaching it to, you want to make sure that you are scoring, and you can score like this, but remember you have to cover your score line. So you would use slip, okay? I'm gonna pretend that this is slip. If you add water and scratch back over it, it will make slip. So then you're going to place your mold down, okay? Press it gently, and then you're gonna take your paintbrush and smooth around all of those score marks so that they go away. So that's how you're going to attach your mold. And there are some molds that don't like to come out. Something that has where it curves around, it's gonna be really hard to get out. So these bats are really difficult. The pumpkins are pretty easy, but what I would do is I would squish these in here. We're gonna let that sit for a while, it's just easier. Then you have some molds, like this is a little bit harder. Like you'll notice this is soft and this is harder. So this is mostly used for resin, and any ones where you see clays left over in it, it's because the clay didn't pop out like you wanted it to. Things that are round, you want to do like a coil like this and squish it in there going around. That way it's pushing the air out as you're going around. Then there, scrape off any excess clay. So then you're going to score. And again, if the clay is really soft, it doesn't like to come out. So there's your star, but you probably could have just carved one out easier. If it has like a stem or anything that's like attached, that's skinny coming off the edge, those usually end up breaking off. So, yep. See that one, you would just push it back in there. If it does that, push it back in there and let it sit for a little bit longer. So it's been like really like 10 minutes. So it should be dry enough to pop out. So notice it pops out easily. So now you can actually see the detail. And if they completely dry out, you can put it on a wet napkin, like a wet paper towel, and it will re-soften to where you can add it. So here's this mold that it's a harder silicone, not this soft. So again, we're gonna try and push out of this. So I like to loosen everything first around the edges. And see, it's still kind of soft in the middle because it's not wanting to let go of the side. Let's see this one. So I'm gonna flip it over and just push out. Push, push, push. Let go. Okay, so there's, and see, it doesn't want to let go of that middle. So again, you could either let it dry or you could just force it out by folding this completely in half if you're impatient. But, oh, it didn't come out too bad. So you can actually see the bow and the little details. But again, you gotta let it sit for a while. So if it's a harder mold and you have soft clay, wait probably 10 to 15 minutes. It can sit here. So what you would do is you would push everything in here that you think you want and then work on something else while it's sitting in here in order for your molds to come out nice.